Guess who's back with that back? So today, the 24th of March, we have a new moon in Aries, and I'm gonna try to show up a little bit more often with general readings on every full moon and every new moon, just to see what energies are amongst us, in what way we can maybe benefit from the energies, and yeah, just sharing my intuitive insights with you guys. So stay tuned if you're interested. So today, a new moon in Aries. Aries is a very passionate sign. I'm just gonna start shuffling the cards and see, so because that's how I read. I just read the cards through my intuition. Of course, I learned their meaning as well. I studied them for almost 2 years now. But mostly, I don't really do the traditional reading modalities with the different, like the Celtic cross and all that. Sometimes I do, but mostly I just see whatever cards pop up, and then I try to tune in and see what messages come through, and I link the messages with, of course, what I know and sense, what is going on, what I go through myself. And since we're a collective, everything's personal, the whole journey is personal, but there are certain events that we all go through. So take the messages however they resonate with you. So yeah, what I was saying, new moon in Aries. Aries is a very passionate sign. So I'm sensing as of today and as of mostly from April as well, that where people have been feeling a little bit stuck at the moment, since, you know, everything that's going on, people being bound at home. As of today, as of April, things are going to start moving forward again, with more passion and more clarity in regards to what it is we want. Yeah, I think that's the positive side of the whole circumstances that we are in right now globally. That it's actually forcing us to see where we have been, where we should start over, basically, where we have been kind of deceiving ourselves and keeping ourselves stuck actually in certain situations with certain people, or yeah, just circumstances like our jobs, the way we lived our lives, the things we did on a daily basis, that is now very much being disrupted, and we're being forced to contemplate on our lives, basically. So with Aries being this passionate fire sign, I also see a little bit more social activities, more positivity on its way as of April. So the end of March, into April. New moons are also about new beginnings. So it could be that from now on, things are going to be very different than they were before. People realizing what is truly important to them, and how they want to move forward from here, maybe in a more righteous way, in a more conscious way, leaving certain issues behind, making better choices for themselves and the people around them, maybe dropping some sort of defensive ways. I'll show you the cards, or I'll tell you. I have the Four of Swords in reverse, the Seven of Wands, the Fool, and the Devil. Then underneath that I have the Justice card, the Page of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Two of Swords in reverse. So people might still be feeling a little bit conflicted in what would be the best way to move forward in a more lighthearted way, in ways that are less toxic. People realizing that the way they have been living their lives have basically been a little bit cut off from themselves, from their hearts, causing them to basically create toxic situations in and around. So attracting toxic people, but also being toxic to other people, being selfish, I get also, and this causing inner turmoil, like distress, in the mind, basically. And a new beginning is very necessary in certain situations, and this new beginning is hopefully going to be a little bit more spiritual and a little less selfish and toxic, and focused on trying to defend your own little empire, your own little ways of doing things, and not realizing that they were toxic and causing trouble for others, but also for yourself or for themselves. People knowing that they have to make different choices, that they have to do things differently. I have the Two of Pentacles in reverse and the King of Cups in reverse. So they kind of, deep down, they know that things have to change in their physical environment. Again, in their daily lives, basically, things have to change. They may also be feeling as if it was a little bit too much, and the reason for this feeling, causing that inner turmoil and that mental conflict, basically, is that people have been cut off from their true feelings and their emotions, and they've been defensive, but not truly speaking their truth in what it is they actually really wanted, or what it is that actually deep down felt right for them. This could be like a more spiritual path, but also basically showing emotions and speaking your own truth instead of going with the crowd and going with whatever was expected, or going with things that were actually very toxic and imbalanced. Because when you make decisions not coming from your heart, but you make decisions because you feel this is what is expected from you, or you're just trying to please other people, basically, it's going to be toxic for you, because it's not in alignment with your true feelings and your true self. So people have basically been kind of suppressing what is necessary, suppressing changes that were necessary. So trying to keeping their defenses up against other ways of seeing things, or other ways, unconventional ways of living your life. So what I'm getting with that is, again, living a more spiritual life, because spirituality is not a belief system, or it's not some sort of set rules or religion that you have to live your life by. It's actually about finding who you truly are, and what your purpose is, and what path your own higher self and your soul has, which are the same to me. Your soul and your higher self have actually set out for you, And if you resist that, and if you go with, mainstream society, people around you, whatever they expect of you to do, or whatever they want you to do, you're going to be and feel cut off from your true self. And this is going to bring imbalance in your life and bring in, whenever there's imbalance, there's room for toxic energies and toxic ways to kind of infiltrate your life. So, but as of now, people are going to realize that they have been exhausting themselves by living this way, by not living their truth, by not being aware enough to see what needed to be sacrificed, or making sacrifices but not with the best intentions. I have the Knight of Swords, the Hanged Man. So there's movement forward from a situation or a feeling of being stuck, of a feeling of having to, knowing that you need to find more balance, but not knowing how to do or create this. And like I tried to explain before, the way to create this is by tapping into your true feelings, your true path, your spiritual side, which is your feminine side, by going within, by taking rest, basically taking more rest. And this time, of course, is forcing us to do that anyways. So then I have the Queen of Pentacles and the Strength card in reverse. The Queen of Pentacles is a very confident woman, but it's earthly energy, very grounding energy. So another solution to whomever this resonates with, and who has been feeling stuck, who has been feeling as if either they were toxic, or their whole life was basically very toxic, imbalanced, created out of imbalanced situations, circumstances, relations. Another solution would be to get more grounded and tap into your inner power, instead of giving your power away and feeling like a victim of your circumstances. The Strength card in reverse, meaning that you feel disempowered. And basically, why do we feel disempowered? It's because we give our power away to circumstances, relying on other people to give us something or give us fulfillment, relying on, the amount of money we make, our title, in order to feel secure and powerful and strong and in control. But this is a false way of creating stability, basically, or creating groundedness and confidence. So deep down, you still feel disempowered, because again, you're not connected to your true self. You're not connected to your true path. The Knight of Cups in reverse as well. You're not speaking your truth. You're not coming from the heart. Basically, this is the reason why you might be feeling stuck and depressed and sad, and as if everything and everybody around you is either out to get you or doesn't have your best interest at heart. And then I have the Moon in reverse and the King of Wands in reverse as well. So again, King of Wands in reverse is very disempowered, heavy energy, feeling as if feeling as a failure basically, and the moon in reverse, things are hidden. So again, I'm very much getting that whomever this resonates with is you're not speaking your truth, you're not going within, you are yeah, you're disconnected to your true feelings, and you need to come back to who you truly are if you want your life to change, because it's in the end it's not the circumstances, it's not the other people that cause this for you. You are not a victim. That's another uh, part of giving your power away, is that you stay in this victim consciousness that there's nothing you can do, and everybody is pulling on you, and everybody is trying to um, kind of like bring you down or something like that. It might be true, but in the end, it's you that's actually doing that to yourself, because you're giving your power away to the circumstances, to your surroundings, to um, external factors in order to make you feel powerful and strong. So you have to try to tap within your own power and reclaim your power, basically by seeing where, in what situations or what relationship or dynamics you have been dishonest, and not towards yourself, your true feelings, towards the other person. You have been toxic, or people have been toxic to you, and you stayed in that situation even though you know it's not beneficial or of service to your own highest good. So take back that responsibility for everything in your life, basically. If you want things to change, if you want a new beginning, if you want more fulfillment, more balance into your life, more stability and groundedness, then you have to start looking at yourself and where you have been giving your power away, basically, and why, what it is that has you feeling this disempowered. And it's always going to be you in the end. But in what situation is it that you can change? Because there's always something you can do. You're never a victim of your circumstances. You don't have to be, unless it's really like a super difficult situation where you absolutely cannot get out. Then the thing you can do is to just try to accept it, and then watch what will happen. If you truly accept, things will change in the end. Because if you tap into your inner power and your strength, and you align with your inner power, you will see that your outer circumstances have to match up, so that people who are disempowering you or who are toxic to you, once you step into your power, so once you start speaking your truth, telling people that they're hurting you or they're being toxic to you, you will see that those people are going to fall away. So in that way, you can take your power back and become like this creator of your own reality again, instead of being this victim of your surroundings. So you have to find some courage to take steps towards self-empowerment, basically. If this is something that you feel is going on for you. I'm gonna do a second spread. Hopefully a little bit more positivity. Please don't shoot the messenger as well. I'm just telling it how it comes to me. And I also know that this has been very true for myself as well. And I also know that this is part of the journey, that you have to actually really be courageous enough to start looking at yourself completely. So to the good as well as the bad. Healing is not all about in the end it is about creating your best life and creating happiness, but you have to try to create it from within. And that also means that you have to take care of whatever is blocking you, and that's mostly things that are inside of us that are not very positive, that we have to look at and address and work through. And this can get pretty uncomfortable, but it's necessary if you actually really want to heal and start creating your own life and start being happy. So I have the Four of Wands popping up. So I'm kind of getting counterpart, twin flame maybe. So let's make this a little bit of a love reading. This part of the reading, a little bit more about love, partnership, coming together, building a home, building stability. I also have the Eight of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles in reverse, and the High Priestess in reverse. So it could be a person you're dealing with that you see as a potential life partner, but you also realize that there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. And at this moment, it's still work that both parties have to do by themselves. So yeah, by themselves, in order to... Both parties have to do the work separately by themselves before they can come together and work together and build something together. Six of Wands in reverse. One or both parties could feel as if they have to gain more success before they can come forward or feel good enough about themselves. They feel that there's still so much to learn and work through, that this is still not a right time. With the High Priestess in reverse, things aren't aligned enough between the two of you. Why is this is still not very... Nine of Swords again, but now upright. So there could be some sort of exhaustion. Again, need for rest, need for seeing through, working through negative cycles. It could be one of the parties has been focused a little bit too much on success or gaining success. Focused a little bit too much on work and not allowing themselves to take the rest that was needed in order to create more balance and to listen actually to something that was more divine and coming from the higher self. Could be that some sort of partnership. Oops. That's the World card. Yes, upright. That just fell down on the floor. But with the Three of Pentacles in reverse, I was getting... It could be that some sort of partnership didn't really work out or didn't really bring in the success someone was hoping for. And they've been trying to create and manifest like this great life, this great life, and they have been feeling as if this was necessary before they could come forward and offer stability to their High Priestess, and basically their counterpart, their divine counterpart. But the High Priestess is in reverse, so maybe she's not that interested anymore. Maybe you took too long, and now the bond has been a little bit obscured, broken, challenged, because the focus was too much on success, too much on I have to be able to show and give the world something, or create the world in order to feel good enough to provide. Feel good enough to provide, and needing to create more and more and more and more, but not realizing that actually this has been a toxic cycle. And I'm getting masculine. Toxic masculine cycle of always needing to just too focused on building and showing their talents to the world, and needing recognition, needing success in order to feel good, needing to create, but not focusing on their inner world, not focusing on how this actually makes them toxic towards the feminine, and how this has them distracted from the light within themselves. And the only way to find your inner light is to take rest, to meditate, and work through your issues, basically. That's the only way you will find your true path again. This is just an extension of the previous part, basically. I wanted this to be a little bit more of a love reading, but I don't know. It's very, it feels heavy. Doesn't feel all that positive. Feels depressing. 9 of Swords. Depression, anxiety around needing to change, Queen of Swords in reverse, around losing a connection to somebody, losing a connection and realizing that this person may have been the world to them. This person may have been the world to them, but now they feel cut off because they have been so focused on creating something, but in the end, it's never done, and it didn't bring them the coming together, working together, which they actually visualized and envisioned for themselves, like this is their counterpart, but now they feel kind of lost without that person. They feel anxious, depressed. Justice again, and the Empress in reverse, yes. So I'm really getting that there was a loss of a connection with an Empress. So a divine counterpart, a divine feminine, who actually chose herself, chose her inner peace, her path, because she knows which way to go. But the masculine was all stuck in his head about creating, needing the need to create in order to feel better and feel worthy, not realizing that this actually caused them to lose a very special connection. Maybe now realizing that things need to be set right, but not speaking, not coming forward with their heart just yet. Page of Cups in reverse. Ace of Swords in reverse. So no, not realizing it still. No clarity around love and their feelings. They're not letting their feelings come through. I do have the Lovers, 5 of Cups, and then the 6 of Swords in reverse. So they're kind of resisting their true feelings, which could be actually feelings of love and connection and wanting to come together, but then also feeling sad and kind of like that victim heavy energy again of like, oh, there's nothing I can do, there's nothing I can say to make this right. But in that way, resisting the transformation and resisting what could have been, basically. Love could have been. But they're resisting this change and transformation and the need for them to look at their feelings, to look within and not look without. Don't focus that much on what it is they have been creating or what it is they need to be creating or what it is they have to be building and collecting and learning and build, work is not all that. It's not all there is. But I'm still not really getting, like, they feel the loss, and they feel a pull as well towards the light. Could have been that this woman, that the connection was kind of like divided with, felt as their light, but not realizing that they have to find that light from within, basically. And it's making them sad. But what's necessary is that they speak their truth, that they talk about their feelings and stop hiding and stop resisting, basically, and stop putting their focus on other things, material things, and of course it's good to create and focus on work and focus on your creativity. But with that, there needs to be balance and there needs to be some sort of truth that has to be spoken. But it's not happening. The Eight of Cups in reverse, Seven of Swords upright, they're afraid. They're afraid of being betrayed, or there may be some betrayal going on, or they feel betrayed because this feminine walked away and she chose her own truth. She chose her own truth. Look at this woman. She's fierce and she's balanced. Star in reverse. So this wasn't what they wanted. It wasn't what they expected. But it was what happened. And what is necessary now is that they realize and see that what is necessary, that they tap into their feelings. If they actually really want to create something with this person or with anybody, basically, they have to tap into their feelings, good or bad, happy or sad. It has to be addressed. It has to be worked through. It has to be spoken about. It may be that one of the two is gonna come forward, and I do have the Lovers card, so there's just some back and forth doubt, but there may be a decision in the near future that will bring in a little bit more love and a little bit more connection. So I don't know. I hope you enjoyed this reading. To me, it's a bit not all that positive, but hang in there, and I'll see you soon.